I've got John Beckett, who is the chair for the Camden County Republican Central Committee. And John, now normally we don't have political parties or different groups on. However, it's election year, a lot's going on right now. And so for you guys here in Camden County, there's some interesting things coming up with the election. But before we get into that and give you a chance to tell people about why you want to spread the word that you're on today to spread, I want to find out what exactly is the Camden County Republican Central Committee.
The Central Committee, a lot of people don't realize that we even exist. We are the most local part of the Republican Party. We are elected. Camden County has 11 townships in it, and each township by statute has a man and a woman that is elected to represent the Republican Party for that township. And we have meetings. It's all set up in state statutes, so we are governed by that. Also, I mean, the party is a private party. It's a weird setup how it is at the state level, but we are governed by the state statute when we're elected to it, and it's 2-year terms.
2-year terms, and so you're the current chair, but you've been involved, correct?
I've been involved 14 years on the Central Committee.
So when you say that, we're the most local representation for those 11 townships, what is your guys' role and responsibility then?
The main responsibility is if we have a vacancy at the county level, we are the ones, if it is a Republican governor, we interview people to replace them and give recommendations to the governor for appointment.
Gotcha. So you guys really report directly to the state level
we do,
at times?
At times. Right.
Very cool. That's a big responsibility.
It's a big responsibility. We had that happen several times over the last, 6-7 years. The auditor, we had an appointment, and then the collector, we had an appointment. So we've had several appointments, and the public administrator, we had one for that, and then we also had one for prosecutor.
Yeah.
So we've had several high-profile appointments that came through, and so that is really the main goal, and to promote the Republican Party, at the county level.
And so in Camden County, we've got the Republican Central Committee. Is there a Democrat Central Committee?
Yes.
In Camden County?
In Camden County, yes, there is.
And so they do the same thing. Mm-hmm. All right, so now what I want to talk about, it's election year, and all Missouri primaries are on August 2nd. However, the presidential Missouri, what's listed as primary, is March 2nd, but I understand that that's not exactly what's taking place.
That is not what's taking place. That's why I contacted Will to see if we could talk about this. March 2nd, we're not having a primary. The money was not allocated to hold one at the state level for Democrats or Republicans. So then it comes on the Central Committee to put on a caucus. So the state GOP wrote new rules for us to hold a caucus. It's going to be held March 2nd. It starts at 10 o'clock. It's going to be in the middle school gym at the Camdenton schools. So it's quite a process. We're going to open the doors at 8 o'clock. You have to be a registered voter by February 19th. And then you come in, you bring your ID, voter registration card if you have it, sign a pledge, you get credentialed, and then you get in the doors to caucus. The caucus is a completely different process than we've seen. A lot of questions are surrounding that process because people like to go to the voting booth and just fill in the circle. I'm done. I did get their little sticker, and they go home or go back to work. This, you actually have to participate. I mean, you have to come in, nominate your nominee, whether it be President Trump or whoever that you want to see as the nominee for the Republican Party, and then you caucus. You sell your candidate to the other people in there. Once they get over 50%, then the caucus is over. So it's quite a process.
So there's not really a time limit as far as once it begins that day until somebody gets over the 50% threshold.
Or if there's a plurality, then it goes. Then you do have a split delegation that goes to the state level. If you get to the point where everybody's deadlocked and then the chair calls for a plurality, you can stop the caucus at that moment in time. You don't really like that because you want all your delegates to go towards one person.
Yeah.
So it will you could be there all day if the chair allows it.
Let me ask this, because this seems incredibly important, but it's also completely foreign to what the average voter, especially in Camden County, is used to. You mentioned, at this caucus, it from what I understand, doing some research, kind of hectic. It's at the precinct, county, or district level, and like you said, there can be signs, interaction, you can have speeches, and so at the end of this, the hope is that everybody's in unison and at least 50% or majority endorses one person, then they would go to the primary in August?
Actually, no. That goes to the state convention, and those delegates cast their vote for that presidential candidate. The August, it's completely separated. The August primary is mainly for the local elected officials and the state elected officials. We won't have any kind of primary for president. This is your time to participate on who you want to be on the ballot for president for the Republican Party.
Is this common historically in every 4 years in Camden County or on the state level?
It is not. We've held, I think you said you did some research. The primaries go back, my lifetime, to where people would show up and have a presidential preference primary. A lot of people don't realize that the primary they participated in did not necessarily translate into that person being the party's candidate. The state party could actually go against those votes if they wanted someone else on the ballot. So this process actually, you send your delegates to the state convention, and they cast their votes at the state convention for your candidate at the county level.
Okay, now I know we're getting close on time, so I want to get one more in here, and it's twofold. John, so as the chair of the Camden County Republican Committee, I want to know, seeing it was 1973 that it went from the caucus format to the primary becoming standard in all 50 states or all however many states. So my question is, why now would they not allocate a budget? And second part of that question is, do you like having this caucus so long as you guys get the word out?
As the money allocated, that would have to be asked at the state level. I have no idea. This was thrown upon us after the session last year saying we had to have a caucus. Do I like this process? Parts of me I do like it, because you have to actually come participate.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to come out and say why you support a candidate. You can't just come in and do it privately and move on. I think it opens up the door to true participation. The second thing we can do is we can offer planks up at the state level for the GOP platform, which is part of the caucus process. So
very good. So listen, Saturday, March 2nd at the Camdenton Middle School, it is the Camden County Republican Central Committee's caucus. And give us one more time. You said the doors open at 8 and they'll close at 10, and you have to be registered in Camden County to vote by February 19th, correct?
That is correct. And if you're in line at 10 o'clock, you are allowed in. If you come at 10:01, the rules state that we have to turn you away. So get there early, get registered. There is a pre-registration website at the state GOP website, but there have been some issues with it. You don't have to pre-register. You can register at the event and come in and participate. We want everybody to show up. If you're a Republican, you have to sign a pledge that you are a Republican. It's not a closed caucus, but we are allowed to keep a list of known Democrats that we can turn away. That's a little controversial.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure it is.
but we can do it. They told us not to get stupid and don't cause a fight. So
well, all right. Well, John, hey man, I appreciate you coming on and informing everybody. Again, you want to find out more about the Camden County Republican Central Committee, you can check them out on Facebook. Last time, that is John Beckett, the chair. Appreciate your time, my friend.
Thanks, Will. Appreciate you having us on.